What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AnimeUproar, and I'm extremely excited for this video in which I'll give important updates about 7 Deadly Sins, the final season, the final movie, the new ending, which looks like the ending we all wanted, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you do enjoy seeing 7 Deadly Sins videos on this channel and want to keep them coming, the best thing you could do is channel the one within and smash that like button until it's blue. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications, or you will miss future 7 Deadly Sins videos and updates. And while you wait for the next video to drop, feel free to check out our giant 7 Deadly Sins playlist, where we have videos on all of the sins, commandments, the sacred treasures, and much more. Link to that is in the description. Before we get into it, a quick thank you to Alchemy Stars for sponsoring this video. Alchemy Stars is a brand new line strategy RPG that launches this summer. Set in the beautiful anime-inspired world of Astra, a bewitching land of science and magic where light and dark clash, Alchemy Stars features stunning graphics and amazing characters who were brought to life through the work of 150 remarkable illustrators and manga artists. But the thing that really makes Alchemy Stars stand out from the rest is its revolutionary line strategy RPG system. Basically, the way you line up your characters on the battlefield determines how strong and effective your attack combos will be, so there is a lot of strategy involved here. This line strategy RPG system is so unique and so rewarding once you really start taking advantage of it, and I personally haven't played anything quite like it before. It is extremely cool. Check it out for yourself. Just click the top link in the description to start playing for free. Since this is a brand new game, this is the perfect time to start playing and get a leg up on the competition. Alchemy Stars is actually organizing a contest to see who can get the highest combo in the game, so if you want to enter and win awesome prizes, link to that is also in the description down below. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. Before we jump into this new ending, which we'll receive in the form of the new 7 Deadly Sins movie Cursed by Light, let me just give some updates to the 7 Deadly Sins fans wondering when everything is supposed to be released. The final season of the 7 Deadly Sins anime is supposed to drop on Netflix on June 28th, 2021. And there's going to be plenty to love in this season that Netflix dubbed Dragon's Judgment. We'll get to see some amazing power upgrades and hype moments like Bond After Purgatory, a Meliodas upgrade, a King upgrade, an Escanor power upgrade, and so on. We'll get to see most of our favorite ships set sail into the sunset with a happy ending and the birth of the next generation, including Tristan, the son of Meliodas and Elizabeth. What I wasn't crazy about though with the 7 Deadly Sins ending, and again, here's my second spoiler warning if you're not caught up with the manga, is how the battle they chose to end it off was the battle against Kath. I get that it sort of makes sense to end off with a focus on Arthur since we're dealing with Arthurian legend here, but it felt sort of anticlimactic after the epic fight against the Demon King where all 7 sins were present, a fight that was being set up from the beginning of the series. Escanor wasn't present during the Kath fight because he sacrificed himself in the previous fight, which also felt weird not having a sin present, and it just felt like the Kath part seemed out of place in relation to the rest of the story, and most of us wanted to see the sins take on someone like the Supreme Deity next, which would have made more sense after the Demon King, especially since the Supreme Deity was kind of in the background of the story the entire time, with characters referring to her every so often. Well, here's where the movie Cursed by Light comes in. And as the name of the movie suggests, I think you can start to get a sense of what it's actually about. It hasn't been released yet, but should premiere on July 2nd, 2021 in Japan, so only a few days after the final season drops on Netflix. And I just want to give credit to Netflix for actually dropping the final season within a more reasonable time span this time around, rather than keeping it in Netflix jail for several months. It does seem like they've been listening to anime fans, and I hope that continues. So as I mentioned, this movie is not out yet, but from the trailer details, which I'll go over in a bit, it looks very promising, and it appears to contain most, if not all, of what we have wanted from the ending of the 7 Deadly Sins. It seems to be in between the time skip, aka pre the 7 Deadly Sins having kids, because we definitely don't see any of the kids in the trailers, but we do see King and Deanne getting married, which will be a great moment for us to watch. So this shouldn't be considered a sequel that continues where the manga left off, but more like an extended, more detailed ending, filling in some of the gaps. A new threat pops up in the form of Dahlia, the second fairy king, who wants to make the Sins pay for ruining the Holy War. He's accompanied by Dabuzu, the master craftsman of the giants. I love that they are actually including Dahlia because he's been one of those characters that's been mentioned in the manga, but I never really expected to see him. So the fact that they made use of him is very exciting, and more importantly, as I'll get into in a little bit, it is revealed in the second trailer that the supreme deity will show up as well to confront the Sins. So not only do we get the fight against the supreme deity that we wanted, we get the second fairy king thrown in for good measure. Obviously, it'll also matter how they handle the fights and how satisfying they are, but the setup here has so much potential. What I also love to see from the trailer is Meliodas and Zeldris fighting side by side. They're two of my favorite brothers in anime, and I love to see them on the same side this time, defending the demon world. In the first trailer, we also saw King in his King of Rock form, Merlin with her mouth covered, so we don't see the burn marks she got from Escanor in this first trailer, and King Arthur will make an appearance too, as we see him crying in the trailer. But I do think the main focus is going to be on our 7 deadly sins, which is exactly what we want from this series. I'm more interested in the second trailer though. We get a better sense of Dahlia's powers, which seem to be fire-based. I've even heard theories that he's inherited sunshine, but that's probably a stretch at this point. It is in this trailer that we'll see the supreme deity, and props to how they reveal the supreme deity too. Unless you pause at the perfect time, you will easily miss her, since light surrounds her as soon as she appears in the trailer, engulfing the whole screen. If you do pause it at just the right time though, you can see her with her head covered in light as usual, and we see Vaughn, King, Gother, and Deanne confronting her. Notably, Meliodas and Elizabeth aren't there, but it's just one scene and they may well get the chance to confront her afterwards, which is my hope. She is more so their personalized villain anyways, so I think it would be more satisfying for their character arcs if they play a crucial role in defeating her too, just as they did with the Demon King. This time we straight up see the burn marks on Merlin's mouth from her kiss with Escanor, proving that this is in fact after Escanor has passed away, but significantly we see Escanor's the One mode. Now could this just be a flashback? Totally. But it might also suggest that in some way Escanor may return, if only for a limited time for this battle. How that would work, I'm not sure. However, is it out of the realm of possibility for a shonen series heavily influenced by Dragon Ball Z, and that includes magical powers? I don't think so. It at least gives me hope that Escanor's character in one way or another may play an important role in this fight, and honestly it wouldn't be the 7 deadly sins without him, but the 6 deadly sins, which is more so what the fight against Kath was. So I'm hoping this flash of Escanor in the trailer means that the movie will give us an epic final fight that includes Escanor to send the 7 deadly sins off right. It would be weird if any of the 7 deadly sins were missing, but Escanor in particular is one of my favorites, so we really need him in this movie in one way or another. Notably, they do also focus on a scene where Meliodas gets attacked by his clones. Not as big of a deal as the rest of the stuff I mentioned, but it just gives you a sense of the powers they may have to face. It could be a form of genjutsu or illusion, or it could straight up be the ability to take control of others. Either way, I am looking forward to this movie big time because it does have potential to be a solid new ending for the 7 deadly sins, the one we all hoped for, which finally includes the supreme deity and maybe even Escanor. Again, if it doesn't include Escanor, I feel like they shouldn't even be allowed to call it the 7 deadly sins, since there would only be 6 of them. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Do you think Escanor will somehow help in this new war? What do you think are going to be Dahlia's powers, and what kind of powers do you think the supreme deity is going to use? And what are you most looking forward to seeing in this movie? If you are starved for more 7 deadly sins, you can check out the sequel 4 Nights of the Apocalypse if you haven't. The thing is, it is following different characters, but it is the same mangaka and the story is set in the same Arthurian world. If you are caught up on the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, let us know how you're liking it in the comments below. Does it have potential to be as good as the 7 deadly sins was? The biggest issue is that we've come to love these characters so much. They're some of my favorite characters in all of anime, so it's hard to accept that we won't be seeing as much of Escanor, Meliodas, Bond, and the rest anymore. But such is life. Anyways, that is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this 7 deadly sins update video and that it helped spark your interest in the new movie ending. If you did enjoy the video and want to keep keep them coming, the best thing you could do is channel the one within and smash that like button until it's blue. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications, or you will miss future 7 Deadly Sins videos and updates. And while you wait for the final season to drop on Netflix and for the movie to drop as well, feel free to check out our giant 7 Deadly Sins playlist, where we have videos on all the sins, all the commandments, the sacred treasures, and much more. It's crazy how many videos we've done on the 7 Deadly Sins, so link to that playlist is in the description. Thanks again to Alchemy Stars for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check it out by clicking that link in the description. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!